Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Ronline Report. We're coming up on the 30th. No, it's more than 30th. The annual NPC National Championships. And this man is definitely my favorite to win, all the way from Wilmington, Delaware. Please welcome Carlos Thomas Jr. What's up, Carlos?
Hey, Ron. Thank you for having me on, man. Always a pleasure. I really appreciate it, man. I enjoy our conversations.
Yeah, it's cool because for so long, there's always a couple of big names. People talk about going to USA Nationals, but it's not like the old days where the top amateurs were kind of almost on the same level as the pros as far as recognition and following back in the day. And it's not like that anymore. But people have been talking about you, sharing your pictures, because man, we haven't seen a physique like this that I feel is ready to jump right into the pros and start doing well as a pro in a long time. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And so much so that in this issue, the Sean Roden cover, it's just out now.
Awesome. We'll go pick it up.
That is the January 2022 issue. And I made a prediction. There's an article called Top 10 Predictions for 2022. All right. So I don't know who that is, but one of my first predictions was Carlos Thomas Jr. will be the breakout rookie pro. And anyone who has this issue, let me clarify something. This picture of Carlos, he doesn't look like that anymore. That's 2017, right?
That was
baby. You were middleweight there, right?
I was a middleweight. I was made the cuff at 176 pounds.
Unbelievable. And what are you sitting at right now, weight wise? Do you even know?
Right now, yeah, I'm going to be. I'm not going to give out the exact weight, but we'll be heavyweight.
Okay, because yeah, just a couple of weeks you had to qualify somewhere, so it's weird. It's one of those weird coincidences. I had a client, a woman I was training for women's physique.
I met her. Yeah,
Randy. And as luck would have it, she started the prep a little too heavy. And I said, we can't do, there was a show in Boston, but I said, we could push it, but I'd rather not rush the prep. I'd rather give you another like 3 weeks, really cruise in and do this the right way. She went down to Alexandria, Virginia, a show called the Battle Royale, NPC Battle Royale. I didn't expect anybody recognizable to be there. And then I see the pictures and you won the super weight. Oh my God. I said, Carlos Thomas, she's on stage with Carlos Thomas Jr. I said, wow, what a small world this is. So yeah, I imagine that was, you had to pick a show somewhere that was somewhere close to nationals. Is it just the timing and the location worked out?
Yeah, just the timing and the location pretty much, I had expected nationals to be back in November. Around that, usually the week before Thanksgiving is usually how it is. Like from the past times I've done it, back in 2017, and I expected to be in November when I was planning out my shows. So I was like, okay, I'll do similar to what I did in 2017. I'll do was it the Eastern USA Championships, Steve Weinberger show, Red Francis show. I'll do that, and then it was like maybe like a week or two before, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll do that, and then I'll do nationals, but nationals had moved to December. So we were like, okay, what's close enough to December? And we saw the NPC Battle Royale wasn't far. It was in Alexandria, Virginia, and my family is from the DMV area, so it was great. It just luck would have it. Everyone was able to come out to see me. My grandmother, my aunts, my uncles, and it also turned out to be that my girlfriend is in town from Germany.
Germany, my goodness, what?
Yeah, so she was able to fight through all the COVID restrictions and get here and see me compete for the first time. And, I was able to turn out and win the super heavyweights there. So it was like, okay, we have 4 more weeks to clean things up and go into nationals at our best.
I'm going to guess your weight you had to weigh in for super, so this won't be a secret. I'm going to say you were probably about 232 there, 234, something like that.
Yeah, actually, day of the show, I was around like 231 actually. But I weighed in a little bit heavier because it was at night, so I weighed in around like 235.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I've said this before, but you present such an illusion. You're massive, but you look so much heavier than you are, just because of the fullness and the roundness of the muscles and how small your joints are. Normally, not many people with joints that small can build that much muscle mass, but when they do, whoo, look out. It's tough. It's a tough type of physique to go up against, as the other guys are going to find out in a couple of days here. So I know last year you planned on you were thinking about either North American or nationals, but last year was it was a mess, 2020. So I want to know, do you think it actually worked out in your favor that you didn't end up competing last year and you did push it back another year?
Yeah. I think everything happens in God's timing. You know, what I mean, I'm just kind of just going by, the timing of the way things work out. And it just didn't happen. Just wasn't meant to be. You know, this is how it was meant to be. I'm supposed to be here at this moment, at this time for a reason. That's what I believe. So I was a little bit disappointed that it didn't work out last year. I was supposed to, think about North Americans and then nationals, and then I was like maybe Arnold amateurs and things to, get canceled, put back, all these other things. I couldn't get a qualifying show to do. Things are canceled. You know what? It was like, we're going to go ahead and just go into this off season. Was able to put on some good size. Really, I think this is the first time in a while that I really learned what it was like to be, a bodybuilder full time, not just in prep. I think I learned that from my previous coach, Dorian Hamilton. What it's like to take an off season serious, to make progression within pushing food, and really because I've always trained hard, but really pushing that food and staying on diet 24/7, 365. And I think that is something that I picked up from him, and I was able to implement into coming into my off season last year, as I did work with Patrick Tour during that off season, and I feel that I did make some good progress.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the photos on NPC News from the Battle Royale show, and your back came up a lot. It wasn't so much that your back was weak, it's the fact that your arms and legs are so enormous. Your torso, it's tough for, you see this with a lot of guys. They either have a massive torso and the limbs aren't that impressive,
Yeah,
or the case with you was these giant arms, my God, even when you were like a natural teenager, your legs were like, they were enormous. But
right.
yeah, you balanced it out. So I think that the off season and working on your back definitely paid off, because if they say shows are won from the back, which it's a
Yeah.
ridiculous cliche, but man, how much more balanced do you feel now than you were, a year ago when you were about to start prep for Arnold Amateur?
I think I'm a lot more balanced now. And the back has been brought up, not to where I would like it to be, of course. I think there's still a ton of work to be done, to really make it like that really undeniable shows one from the back kind of look.
Yeah.
So I think another good off season will definitely put it to where it needs to be. But I say like it's a lot more balanced than it was comparatively to last year. Again, but as anyone that's never really satisfied, but it's made great progress. I've made great progress, and I'm proud of it. But I think one more off season would put me into a level where it'll be quite undeniable.
Well, if you win nationals, you got just enough time for a little off season, and then you can hit something like New York Pro, Tampa Pro, Chicago Pro, something like that. Please don't go off and do something like Romania where I'm not going to be there. Do something in the US first, please. But
Of course, Ron, I would love to have you there, man. You've been there from the beginning, so I got to have you there.
So I'm going to keep harping on your arms and legs, because there's two schools of thought when you have these outstanding body parts. Some people say you should just back off on them and let everything else catch up. Other people say if you have something that's really exceptional, don't stop. Keep hammering away and make it even better and better. Where do you fall on that? What do you agree with?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm more of the so of like, I'll just, increase, the work that I put onto my back. I feel that there's no reason to really let, your stop training your legs the way you love to train legs. I enjoy really pushing myself. So if I didn't do that, I would hate going to the gym to go and just do a pump workout for legs or a pump workout for arms, like it wouldn't be fun for me. So I love, heavy barbell squats, heavy hack squats, leg extension lunges, my preacher curls, my spider curls, my overhead extensions, heavy tricep benching close grip bench. I love all that stuff and it's fun for me. So I didn't really change the way I trained my arms or legs. We just really just focused on, what we could do for the back, adding in things I've never done before, cluster sets, a lot of different SST methods I was incorporating during off season with Patrick.
Yeah. What is, for people, if you can explain SST like in a nutshell, people wonder what the hell is that? How would you describe the SST style of training?
I'm pretty sure Patrick could definitely break down the intricacies of it, but for me, it was definitely being able to create a lot of more density and volume within a short amount of time within the workout. So take for instance, the cluster sets, or pardon me, the strategically putting in rest pauses within certain exercises. So that I think is something that is very I want to say respective to SST, and kind of separates it from its other methods that you may see coming floating around, like Y3T or like say like a FST7, Hunter Run By type of style training. You definitely have a lot of volume and heavy weight put into your exercise, packed into a short amount of time. So you're not in the gym for, say, 2.5 hours. It might be like an hour and a half, but you've done the work of 2.5 hours. So that's something that I've taken away from it, is really how to put a lot of density within my workouts and without extending the time in the gym, so to speak.
Yeah. It's tell me about this. It's been, geez, 4 years since you've been on a national stage, but you actually jumped right into national competition, thanks to your coach, Fred Biggie Smalls. You didn't know any better. You were just starting out, but he threw you like immediately into Team Universe and Collegiate Nationals when you were, that was 2014. Was that your first year competing?
Yeah. I went immediately from playing collegiate football into doing my first bodybuilding shows. I really didn't know any better. I didn't know about a peak or holding peaks or anything like that, or how long, dieting. I was just like, okay, we'll just go. We'll start. And we did off season into a prep, and then I did an amateur show, like a local show in Maryland. I think it was the East Coast Classic, Maryland State East Coast Classic. I did that. I did very well, and I was enough to place and go to a national. And then Fred was like, "Let's go to Team Universe," and I was like, "I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. I'll go to Team Universe." And it was right up in a great venue in Teaneck, New Jersey. Love that venue. So we went up there. It was great. Came in, I think it was middleweight. I came in fourth in my class, and then we did the collegiate nationals up in Pittsburgh. So Dad and I packed up, and we went to collegiate nationals, and we did placed second at light heavy, and it was good. And then I decided to take quite a bit of a break to finish my my undergrad degree, and the story. I went to my graduate degree and kind of went into the workforce for a bit, kind of got myself settled, and I'm back and competed this year.
Right on. Do you know who the most famous collegiate national champ is or was? Brandon Curry won that. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize. John Meadows won that. King Kamali won that. It's Cody Montgomery won. I think he won it the same year he won the teens for like the.
Yeah, that was last year. That was the year I was there. He won the teens and the collegiate.
Yeah, crazy. So, what was it like being back on stage? Because it had been a long break for you.
Yeah, I was quite a bit nervous at first, but when you get on stage, it was kind of just like the fun just took over, and you really just settled in. And I had practiced my routine with my girlfriend, but they had cut down the time, so it was like, oh well, you went from having a certain amount of time, I think it was maybe like 60 seconds to 30 seconds, and I was like, man, I practiced my routine and I was ready to show it off, and I felt so comfortable with it. I had the music ready, and so that was something that I was like, oh man, I really wanted to show that off, but we'll show that off for nationals. So yeah, being back on stage it was just fun. It was something that I had missed, and I didn't know I missed that much.
Yeah, I just want to talk about your job for a second, because I think it's cool. You work in something it's very important. You work for an Alzheimer's genetics research lab. Is that right? With Penn Medicine?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Well, I don't really do any cool like sciencey stuff, but I'm on the communication end of it. So I do help with the social media, writing content, articles for the website, taking any, I guess you want to say, science-based, more jargon-based articles and translating them into layman terms for the lay people. More so our members of the community who are curious about research in Alzheimer's disease, or possibly caregivers who want to keep up with the research that's going on, as they continue to take care of their, maybe their mother, their father, their grandfather, their grandmother, or whomever have you within their life that has been afflicted by Alzheimer's disease. So that's more of the work that I do as well. And I work on the back end of outreach with our outreach team. We have I think about four sites in America, and 2 research sites in Canada, Vancouver and Toronto, where we have participants come in, and they'll go ahead and they'll be put through a battery of like memory tests. So my job on that right there is to kind of help with outreach in any type of flyers, like again, like social media. I'll assist with that. I'll any inquiries through the website for participation, I'll forward those to the sites that we have, the 4 sites here, 2 sites in Canada, I'll forward those inquiries to the coordinators at those sites. So yeah, that's basically what I do. And it's a great job, and I like to do it, but I also love doing this as well.
I'm just curious. I don't know if you know this statistic, but I'm just curious what it is. You know, they say cancer is like 1 in 3 people will get cancer. Do you know anything about the odds of people in America, in the US anyway, getting Alzheimer's?
To be honest, Ryan, I'm not quite sure of the statistics that are involved with it, as far as that, the rate of people getting it. But I do know that, that it definitely afflicts certain, I guess you want to say certain cultures more than others, and some are more underrepresented in research. Say, for instance, the research that my genetics lab, the lab that I'm a part of, is ACAD, Asian Cohort for Alzheimer's Disease. So a lot of Asian Americans, Asian Canadians are underrepresented in Alzheimer's disease. So that is really our main focus right now, is to collect Asian participants, have Asian participants, being able to study and get some information and research on them, and then eventually become a resource, for other genetics labs that are interested in researching Asian Americans, Asian Canadians, South Asians. So yeah, that's where we're kind of at right now. We're trying to become a resource for other genetic labs around the world.
Cool. All right. Well, enough about that, because people are saying enough, Ron. Let's get back to the
Yes,
bodybuilding.
back to the bodybuilding.
Back to the bodybuilding. So right before we started recording, you let me know you're actually handling your own peaking, your own prep for the end for this show on your own, which is, it's a bold move, but we've got a track record of, all the old school guys did it on their own, obviously, like Sean Ray, Levroni, all these people talk about how they did it on their own. And even now, I think you said Hunter Labrada doesn't really use a coach anymore. He has people around him that look at him, as a second, third set of eyes and all that. So how are you handling it? Who do you rely on to look at you, and how do you know when you need to do more cardio, less cardio, up the carbs, take the carbs away? Because it is kind of tricky.
Yeah. Right now, I'm having my buddy really help me out as well. And towards these last few days, I have been discussing with Cash Guidry about what the last few days I can do. And so yeah, I've been helping with my buddy Kyle Smith, who does my training. We were kind of communicating back and forth on things we could do the past few days, and then we enlisted the help of Cash Guidry, since he does the diet for my dad, who is getting in shape right now himself. So that's kind of how it worked out. It was just like, okay, me and my buddy Kyle, we're going to try to make some adjustments here. And then we decided, let's bring on Cash here as well at the end. And yeah, so, I also have, a great set of eyes here, and my buddy Tristan, who's taking a look at me as well, over here at TFX, our training facility in Orlando. He's giving me a little bit of advice here. So yeah, mainly just my buddy Kyle Smith, who does my training, and then Cash as well, and then myself.
Where are you now? Orlando, or are you still in Delaware?
We landed in Orlando yesterday.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Also, before we start recording, your girlfriend, she's in from Germany?
Yes.
Okay, let's meet this fantastic woman.
Yeah, she's awesome. So yeah, out from the blur.
So Ina, you live in Germany?
Yes, I was born and raised in Germany. My parents are from China, so Chinese background, and yeah, I'm here since October.
Yeah, so she's been here since October, handling me and this prep quite a bit. So yeah, so she's been saving grace, getting me through all the the prep struggles, how it is. And she also is going to be competing in wellness starting next year. So she's in her off season right now. And if you think I have some crazy legs,
no,
you should
I'm
check it out.
trying to keep up with this man.
Well, your legs are, have you ever taped them out? I'm going to guess they're like 32, 33-inch thighs.
Yeah. I think last December, we took out the tape. They were like 31, 32.
There you go. Well,
Ron, you're good at that, buddy.
and her legs are even bigger. Wow.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, we measured them out.
I gotta know how a guy from Delaware meets somebody from Germany.
It was mainly over social media.
Yeah.
So he wanted to come to the FIBO in Cologne. That was 2020. Yeah. And then from there on, we kind of want to meet up in April in 2020. And then it didn't work out because of COVID. This was 1 week before your flight.
1 week before my flight
Yeah,
to go see to go to FIBO. It was canceled because of COVID. So then we met in Dubai for a couple weeks, and we had a great time there. And then we were like, all right, well, let's meet up again. And I was like, I have prep from October to December, or like September, October, and she's like, okay, I'll come. And then, you know, so she's been here through this process, and yeah, so we're looking forward to finishing it strong. And then definitely enjoying some downtime to ourselves for a bit. And then I'll probably head out towards in Europe sometime next year to hang out there for a bit.
Who's going to move? Because this is too far away. That's thousands of miles. Somebody's got to move somewhere. Who's moving?
Yeah, it's gonna be me. I'm never like, I always wanted to go somewhere else. I never felt really home in Germany. So, you know, I've been living in China for some time. I was in Mexico for a month before I came here because of COVID. And I would love to move out here. I really like it here. People are so like very welcoming, open, and kind. It's different. It's very different.
Well, I'll tell you must be having a great influence on Carlos, because usually people that are a couple days out from a show, they're not the most fun people to talk to. A smile is unheard of, but he looks like he's relaxed, calm, collected, just ready to do this thing, this national. So good job, Ina.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Ron.
man. Yeah, Ron, you're not seeing the behind the scenes, but
I know. I mean,
you're not seeing the behind the scenes. I've definitely had my times where I've been quite quiet or, you know, more reserved throughout this prep. Yeah, so it's not the most traditional way of relationships or way things go, but you know, we're making it work, and I'm very proud of us. And yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, but you know what? You could say you've already seen me at my worst. You've seen me.
I tell her that. I'm like, you see me, like that's like the worst. Like you know, like when you go off season, it's like what?
Yeah, last year when he was prepping, he was like, "Oh, that's my worst prep." This year he said, I promise this is my worst prep." I was like, no, but you know, it's getting better.
Yeah, because he's hungry, he's tired. You can't go out anywhere. You can't go eat at a restaurant. But it's almost over. Did you book a resort anywhere? That's what I recommend.
Yeah, we're here actually at a resort right now that my uncle had some like points on, so he actually really hooked us up, so we didn't have to like pay for like a stay.
Awesome.
So yeah, it was really nice. So this is a nice place, not too far from the venue at all, about 10 minutes, I think, 10-15 minutes from the venue. So it has like, you know, discounts for any of like the resort, like what do you call them, like the parks around here we could take advantage of possibly, because we'll be staying a couple days afterwards. And then, you know, it has like pool and hot tub, all that good stuff. So it's been a nice little relaxing stay since we got here yesterday. But yeah, definitely when all this is said and done, we'll be taking some time to kind of relax ourselves and have a good time.
Yeah, you got to do. You know, Ina's in from Germany. You got to do the whole tourist thing. You got Disney, Epcot, the Animal Kingdom, the Islands of Adventures, the universe. My God, there's like freaking 10 parks.
There's so much around here. It's ridiculous. This is like, it's almost overwhelming because it's so much to do. Like you'd have to spend like 3 weeks here just to get everything done.
$2,000 or $3,000 to go to all those damn parks. Oof, geez.
Tell me about it. Mm-hmm.
Cool, man. So yeah, I know it's just a big cliche, but how do you feel going into nationals? Because you know, this is your first show in a long time, but man, I don't care who's going in. It doesn't matter because top 2 in every weight class turn pro at this.
Yeah,
I'm not going to jinx you, so I'm not going to make ridiculous predictions, but I have a very good feeling about this for you, Carlos.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you. And you know what, man, like, of course, we're going for the top spot. Of course, we want to go for that overall and really solidify, you know, our positions in, you know, in national history. Because even like a good friend of mine, Sergio Oliva Jr. won nationals, and that's how he got his pro card. And I really want to be able to follow in the footsteps of the past winners and become an overall champion. You know, if God wills it, and then that's the way it will be. So yeah, top 2 in every weight class gets a pro card, but you know, we do have our own goals. So coming into this, man, I'm feeling pretty good about it. After speaking with Cash this morning and after speaking with my buddy Kyle and having Cash look at me, we feel as if, you know, things are right on track. And the crazy thing is still have Wednesday, we still have all today, Thursday and Friday to get better. So, and you like anyone else, anybody knows better around is that like, when it comes to peaking process, you know, in 3 days, that could be an eternity to make things even better or to get worse. Yeah. But you know, I mean, we'll definitely be on the other side of that, and you know, aim to get you know, a little bit better each day. So yeah, I'm feeling good. You know, I have great people behind me. My team is wonderful. Like I said, I have a great girlfriend here who's been supporting me. Of course, you know, my father has been here 100% every step of the way. You know, if you see me, you're going to see him. Doesn't really leave our sides. So, you know, I have my mother and my sister, and I said my family's here. My uncle's in town. Like it's going to be a great affair here with a lot of my support system here. And so, you know, with that being said, Ron, I don't think there either besides, if anything happens, whatever happens, you know, my heart is full, and you know, I've definitely put a lot of work into, you know, this prep. So all I can say is that I'm blessed. I really am. And no matter how things shake out, you know, I'll definitely be leaving, you know, a winner in some way.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm really rooting for you. I'm really rooting for you. And please say hi to your dad. I love your dad.
Yes, I should have had him here, but you know, he's out talking, moving, and grooving. You know how he does.
Yeah. No, he's got a great personality. I love your dad. He's the
Will you
coolest
be
guy.
down, Ron?
No, I'm not going to this one, but I'll be there in spirit for sure. I'll be following along all the coverage, and
Thank you.
fingers crossed for this guy. Please come on now.
All right.
Yeah, because I want you in the pro shows next year. I want to see you. Do not wait in a whole year like some of these knuckleheads. Please compete next year. If you turn pro this weekend, please compete in 2022. Don't leave us hanging till 2023. Good Lord, that's a long time.
We have I had in mind something similar. Again, not putting the cart before the horse, but I had in mind something similar to what you were saying earlier, alluding to, you know, a couple of shows. I had those in mind. Like if all things shake out the way they do this week in a positive way, then next year we do have some shows planned up.
Awesome. Well, I promised you a short interview and I lied. This has been a longer one, but hey, appreciate you taking the time. And yeah, thanks Lena for joining us. Appreciate it. I always like the story, the human interest aspects of it. I don't always want to hear about broccoli and biceps. It gets kind of boring after a while.
Even I'm thinking of it at this point. I'm thinking broccoli.
Broccoli, ugh, gross. Yeah. Not as bad as kale, but it's pretty bad. All right, so I wish you the best of luck, Carlos. Got a good feeling. So guys, check out the coverage this weekend. NPC Nationals going down to Orlando, Florida. Look for Carlos Thomas Jr. in the heavyweight division, kicking ass and taking names. Yes, I said it. So that's it. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. And everyone, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Do all that good stuff. Put your notifications on. We want you to watch our videos. And that's it. Thanks for watching Ronline Report with Carlos Thomas Jr. We'll see you next time.
Peace.